Back to the channel. It's Adam Harris, ring announcer, wrestling fan, and collector here in the Mountain State. Welcome back. Thanks to everybody who's checked out the videos on the channel here. Over 100 views between the two videos already. Thank you guys for checking that out. Just got back from Nashville. Was there 10 years ago for Night of Champions at the Bridgestone Arena. I talk about that in the last video. Saw Cody and Dustin win the tag belts from the Usos in the opener. Really fun to revisit that. And spent some time in Nashville. Got to see some music while I was down there, including this guy, Jedd Hughes, who I wanted to shout out. He's an amazing guitarist from Australia. He's been in Rodney Crowell's band, was in Vince Gill's band most recently, and he had a really cool Guitarmageddon event at the Underdog in Nashville with Tom Buka and Guthrie Trapp and my dude Jedd Hughes, who I love his YouTube video. Jedd's been doing stuff on YouTube the last few years and really meditative. He always plays beautiful guitar, and I really love his insights into what he's working on. And so, love Jedd Hughes. Thought I would shout him out on the channel. Managed to stop at a Target, and I picked up a couple of blasters. And I did get pretty lucky, nothing crazy, but something, one of the coolest cards I think I've ever got. One of the neatest looking cards I think I've ever pulled. So I'll show you that at the end of the video. The Vince doc premiered this week. I haven't yet got to watch any of that, but I will soon. I've been really busy since I got back. Last night did a majorette and band festival at the stadium here with 8 high school bands, which was really neat to announce. It's always fun. I love a lot of things about that event. Those kids played in the rain last night. Rain, rain, rain. Toughed it out, and so did the audience. The West Virginia University band played, which is always a big deal here in town. I love the costumes, uniforms, whatever it is. This one drum major wore this really cool sequenced Elvis jacket as the drum major, which was so cool. And it's always interesting to hear the song choices and the themes of the shows. One of these is a high school group that did an entire Vegas themed set, so pretty amazing. But my favorite part, what I love the most, is probably the lack of major head injuries. Gotta be. Good luck to all those kids. They're the future of everything. Then this Friday is the Barnyard Beatdown. I mentioned that in one of my previous videos too. ASW is traveling to Logan, West Virginia, celebrating the life of a man who was named Little, and he had Little's Cafe down in Logan, a barbecue restaurant. And I think this event is going to help support the family, keep the restaurant open. So All Star Wrestling and Gary Dameron deserve a shout out for giving back to the community down in Logan, West Virginia. But then a week from this Saturday, ASW Halloween Mayhem, one and only guests. This is going to be so cool. Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers, are coming to ASW in Madison, West Virginia. I don't know how many cards they have. I know there's one that has them both doing the leg drop move, but I'm going to have to find something to get them to sign for me, I think. I'd like to get a card signed at ASW shows. I've got a really cool autographed in-person auto collection that we'll go over one of these days, I'm sure. DD Trash, our tag champs who were at Slam Plaza, defend the ASW titles against Mosh and Thrasher at Halloween Mayhem. There's a fans bring the weapons match between Kurt Blackman and Jack Sharp. Those are always interesting, and it's a shoot. The fans bring most of those weapons, and then Aaron West is going to defend the ASW title against the man just back from Mexico. Chance Prophet, the Dark Child, is going to get another shot at a title he's plenty familiar with, but it's been a few years since he's held the ASW title. Interesting to see how that goes down. And of course, it all leads to War Games coming up in November from ASW. So, a couple of ring announcing gigs in the next couple of weeks. Next weekend, I'm really excited as well. A couple months ago, I was in Dayton, Ohio, and I got to stop by this really cool toy shop called Route 68 Vintage Toys and Collectibles. And then right next door is the Vintage Toy Mall. So with like 60 vendors or something right next door. This is in Dayton, Ohio. We got to talking to the woman, and she told me about the Great Ohio Toy Show. And so this is happening next Saturday in Dayton, Ohio at the Fairgrounds Greene County Expo Center, actually, the 120 Fairgrounds Road in Xenia, Ohio, the Great Ohio Toy Show. A lot of people have told me about this, and I think a couple of my friends and I are going to head that way. And so hopefully there'll be some cool video action to have for our next episode from the Great Ohio Toy Show. A couple of things came in the mail this week, including my buddy's record, Matt Mullins in the Bringdowns. This came, it was a pre-order special edition of the Monarch Sessions on vinyl. This is out there on Spotify. Matt's my buddy. He's also a member of the House of Kayfabe. This has Aurelian on it, which is actually Jake the Snake Roberts' real name. And so Matt includes a wrestling song on every album, and this one is called Aurelian, and that's the opening track of this album, Monarch Sessions. I love Homesick, and then this version has a few covers, including Little Red Corvette, which my dude Matt rips it up on. I love Appalachian Highway. Anyway, you should check out this album. I'm not just saying that because he's my buddy. The Monarch Sessions from my friend Matt Mullins. Beautiful artwork on the front there. That theme. Speaking of Vince and the Vince doc, it was Stephanie's birthday this week, so I thought I'd show you guys one of my favorite covers. Doomsday for Daddy, Stephanie's evil plan to destroy the Federation. How could she? This has a really great poster pullout in it, and some really informative details on Stephanie and her plan to take over the WWF from Vince. Sort of happened. And while I was out of town, look what came in the mail. Check out these mailers from the one and only Freya the Slaya, star of OVW television, who was actually in Nashville while I was down there. She wrestled Friday night in Nashville. I was down there. I was not paying close enough attention. I probably could have made that happen, but didn't see it until I got home. I feel bad. But I had, in the meantime, just ordered this new T-shirt from her. I'm going to rip it open. Yeah. Love that color. I love the pose. I got to meet Freya down at WrestleCade a few years ago. I've seen her wrestle a few times. A friend of mine wrote to me on Facebook, and this was pre-pandemic, I think. She said, I know you're into wrestling. You would dig this company that my sister wrestles for in Alaska, and it was called the Fairbanks Ladies of Wrestling. And so, of course, I looked it up. Freya is not my friend's sister, but her sister was wrestling at that time, and Freya the Slaya just jumped right out at me. She got a super cool look. She's a total badass. And I was out of Fairbanks at that time. And in the meantime, she moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and started wrestling at OVW. She's held the women's belt there. And I think she's still got even further to climb. What a dynamic wrestler, great charismatic wrestler, performer, and also, man, just able to get some real heat too. Happy to have my new T-shirt. I got my first one during the pandemic. That was almost 5 years ago. So time to pull out another Freya the Slaya shirt and support my girl over in Louisville. So check out Freya the Slaya. And we're going to get to the cards in a minute. And I said I was going to do something on the PWI 500, and I still want to, but I'm going to make my way through it. And I'm going to count how many of these wrestlers I've gotten to ring announce. I've seen a lot of them. I've seen more of them, but there are probably a dozen or so in here that I have actually had the privilege to ring announce. And so I'm going to put that together in a video and maybe talk about some of my memories of when I got to ring announce or work with some of the guys who made it into the PWI 5. So thanks again for watching. I want to show you some of the pulls from my blasters that I got while I was in Nashville. And we'll be back soon with another video. Hope you'll come see us at the matches, and see you next time.